if you've been looking to hire offshore remotely and you don't want to go the Filipino route, in this video, I'm going to present to you exactly why you should actually hire someone from Latin America, where to find it, and how everything works. I'll break down the entire funnel that we actually do, and we did this presentation inside of a mastermind from Seven Figure Cartel by Nick Perry, who runs a multi-seven-figure wholesaling operations virtually. If you don't know who I am, my name is Esteban Andrade. I'm the founder of Hustle Media and co-founder of Remote Latinos. And we have hired over 1,500 people in the last 2 years. So in this video, what I'm gonna teach you is the exact breakdown of where to find these people, how to find them, how to attract them, how to onboard them, and how to actually scale your business by doing something called labor arbitrage. So in this video, I'm going to present to you exactly how to find people that will buy back your time.
What's up, guys? I love the energy of this room. My business partner couldn't come. He's going to a wedding in Jacksonville. What? So, where's the clicker here? Where is it? Okay. However, I did come to represent as the ultimate remote Latino, okay? So, my name is Esteban Andrade, and this presentation, I'm going to try to make it as engaging as possible, and I'm going to give a lot of value. Like, I'm going to give a lot because we don't have enough time, so you guys are going to have things to download, and I'm going to give it away, all right? So, building remote teams from good to great, or grande, right? In the real estate space. Now, let me go ahead and get started with this.
Is your mic working?
I think so. This one? Not sure. Hello? Okay, now it is? Perfect. All right. So, first of all, who here has remote team members? I know that Matt has a few. You have a few. You have a few. All right. Where are they from? I want to know the countries where they're from. You got? Someone said Egypt. You said Tunisia? What? Pakistan? Okay, got it. Nice. Matt, where are they from? Your overseas team. Where are they from?
It's a mix of like Philippines and Egypt and South Africa, different places.
Okay, cool. That's a good mix. All right. So who here actually has Latinos apart from Ben? Peru? Okay, awesome. Sounds good. We're in Mexico. I've been actually recruiting as I go. Everyone that speaks really good English, I just tell them about the opportunity of working online. And they'll be like, oh my God, I can work at my house and actually earn money. Well, that's everything we do. So what we're not looking for is one of the biggest problems, because when you go across the globe, when you get a passport and actually travel, you get to know different cultures. And for example, there's different benefits to going to Latin America over Philippines, over Egypt, for example, which is a hot spot right now. And both Latin America, Egypt, and obviously Philippines have been something that has worked for a long time now. But the reason why we decided to go here is also because I know my people and I travel a lot. I lived in Toronto for a couple of years, so it's multicultural. That let me see exactly how other cultures just do it. So I'm going to go over the 3 pillars to finding A players remotely, because like Nick said, we want to keep our expenses right. We want to have high profit margins, but we also want to have high productivity, loyal people. As of right now, for remote Latinos, we haven't had anyone quit our company in the last 3 years. For our company, Remote Latinos, we've only fired people. And the reason why is because there's a high level of loyalty when you pay them right and you obviously treat them like an actual employee, not as a virtual assistant. All right? So a lot of Filipinos, they do train and think like a virtual assistant, doing low admin tasks or virtual assistant is a term that is bottom of the barrel type of term. So I want to change that term and want to see these people that are in Mexico, Colombia, Argentina as an actual remote employee, right? So 3 things: talent acquisition, skills extension, and scale and retain. All right. So where do I come from? You guys can check out a few of my profiles and a few of my details in here. But I'm actually a past Uber driver. No, but actually, I actually came from an engineering background. I developed vehicles in Chrysler in Detroit. I was someone in Detroit here. And I'm an engineer, so product for me is very important. So our product in Remote Latinos is something that, honestly, we've been building it really, really, really good. The name itself is something that also changes people's perspective and is also a very good marketable name. And it comes from that engineering background. I jumped into entrepreneurship right in COVID. So let me just tell you more about, we put in our YouTube channel the hundreds of case studies and testimonials of our clients actually winning. And one secret that Remote Latinos has is that it's powered by a company called Hustle Media, who is a marketing agency. And that's my first company that I ever created back in 2020. And that marketing agency is the one that makes sure that we find people online. We also find clients. We put everything together, and it's powered by the great work that our marketing agency does, which, by the way, we do meta ads for real estate investors. So a few of my achievements here, I've invested with a few people like Pace Morby in syndications. I've been in different masterminds and put together a lot of value in all these masterminds in order to actually work with over 300 plus real estate investors, apart from the rest of the clients that we have. So we got a few real estate, oh, that's a picture of Elon Musk. I don't know why. What? Sorry. So over the last 2 years, we have actually helped over 600 plus companies and hired over 1,000 people. So it's a lot of interviews that we've helped, that we've gone through. Not only that, we've hired 1,000 people. So that means that over 70% didn't work. So it's a lot of interviews, a lot of sourcing that we had to do. And our team is entirely remote. All right? 45% profit margins, entirely remote, multi-six-figure. We're about $500,000 a month between the two companies, and we're going to grow. Now, let's do a trivia question. Who here knows that Mexico is part of Central America? Okay. Is it part from Central America? Or North America? Okay. Thank God. You guys have a passport. That's why you guys are here. I asked the same question to people that didn't have a passport, and they said, Central America. Anyways, so let's talk about it. Mexico is right here in North America, right? And so the perception of majority of people in the United States is that, I don't know, for some reason, Mexicans, they're just, I don't know, in Central America, living in the jungle, and they've never traveled. They just don't know. They need a passport, right? Actually, my next investment is kind of like a travel agency or something like that, I think. But they might think that most virtual assistants or people are like this. They're like in the jungle and just with a laptop or something like that. And it's just not true. Like, they are actually like this. They are actually like this. They're actually like this. Look, these are remote Latinos, okay, guys? These are actual remote Latinos. And they will take you to this level where you can build a marketing team, an acquisition team, a dispo team, and a transaction team. Okay? Who voted for Argentina for the World Cup, and who watched the last final, Colombia, Argentina, and Miami? That was kind of crazy. No one went? Yeah. You? Yeah, that was crazy. We lost. Anyways. So, what are the top 5 reasons why you guys wouldn't actually hire offshore, but rather hire in the United States? Let's talk about it. Like, tell me a few reasons why you prefer Americans. Accents. Okay.
Understanding the culture here.
Culture. What else? Geography. What do you mean by geography? Okay.
Like knowing the state, city.
Yeah. Okay. That they can travel easier or just, drive to the office.
10 times
Yes.
easier to train your people.
10 times?
Easier to train your people, yes.
Typically, no typhoons.
Depends.
No music thrown in the background.
Okay.
Better communication. Faster communication.
Faster communication, right? In office, right? For sure. Accents. Someone said accents. All right, sounds good. Accent, culture, time zone, less training, and local advantage. But the truth is, what if I tell you guys that with our processes, our systems, and the way that we actually find people, because we talked about poaching from other companies, right? We talked about actually doing an outbound approach. We talked about having a high bar of what you actually want from your company. What if you actually can do that, but in Latin America? Like there is like billion-dollar companies already training these people for you guys in Latin America. Like there's billion-dollar companies like putting a lot of training in them. And that's actually what we do. Like we go to realtor.com and we poach from people that are being trained in Colombia at realtor.com, and they become our client success managers, all right? And they become our lead, our team leads or something like that. So this it's very important to know that there is also the same talent. So let's go over the 3 pillars real quick. Talent acquisition, we only accept A players. That's the standard that you got to have because you actually get what you tolerate. And there's a lot of people that will tolerate, okay, I'm going to have to train him a little bit more because he's a really nice guy. Culture is amazing and stuff like that, but maybe just lacks a few things. I'm just going to train them. And I'm gonna, let them come in, and then I have process systems and training, but they may not hit it in the next 90 days. And we're tolerating certain things because we're not actually crafting our offer or crafting our need based on what our company currently needs. Maybe at the beginning, because you don't know about hiring and don't know about crafting an offer to find the right people, might be acceptable to make those mistakes, but you got to be very specific on how to actually attract your clients. Your candidates. We actually have helped Nick Perry and his team hiring a few people. I don't know, brother, if you like that picture. I love it, but I saw it in your Slack, so I just copy pasted it. All right, I know that's like previous Nick. Yeah, there you go. So, talent acquisition. By the way, guys, this entire process of going with the through the 3 pillars is an entire funnel, is an entire system. There's an entire playbook. I'm going to give it away if you guys text 470-719-2469, the word remote. I'm going to put that name in that number in the screen later on too. But there's a few pillars for talent acquisition. You got to set yourself up for success. Again, exactly the bar that you want to tolerate. The right job description. It's kind of like creating an ad. It's kind of like specifically accepting the right sellers, right? You guys want the right sellers. You guys only want the sellers that have maybe the highest amount of motivation, the house that has the highest amount of profits for your business. Well, it's kind of the same thing, right? You want to have the highest amount of experience, the best culture fit, and that these people actually are a fit for what you can pay them. So Rockstar lead gen is the second thing, using over different platforms to do it. There's an outbound approach and there's an inbound approach. Again, this is a funnel, a screening and assessment, a strict evaluation of all candidates to actually ensure exceptional quality. And you cannot tolerate minimum standards. You have to actually raise your bar during the interview process, because if you let them in the interview process, even though you can fire people, that shit sucks. Like, firing just sucks. It doesn't matter how you take it. It just sucks. Sucks for them, sucks for your time, sucks for your team. So try to not look to fire people, but to actually spend your time during the interview process to actually find the right person. Customize processes, tailor recruitment processes for each company's needs. Again, you can actually tag the keyword remote. Promise you, I'm not going to spam you. So 10 commandments for success. Have to have core values and actually ask questions based on your core values. Mission statement for the company and long-term vision. You have to have a mission statement and long-term vision so that these people can actually see themselves growing and being there for a long time and actually doing something extra because they feel like they could also create something within their business. Systems in place. Flawless onboarding. Build the short-term and long-term roadmap for your remote team. A lot of people, because they think that this is a virtual assistant from Mexico, you don't build the roadmap to growth. But the truth is that a lot of these people do want to see that projection. 6, hours needed per day. Must have 3 to 5 active deals or $5,000 to $10,000 per month. Invest into mentorships and events like this because, well, one of my core values is that I always seek for knowledge and I always seek to get better. And I actually want that same trait in my employees. I want the exact same thing in my employees. So time for daily meetings and trainings. If you're not doing daily meetings and trainings to your team, they're going to go. They're going to also underperform. And I have an end of the day report. There's also one bonus, which is the end of the week report. We actually did a recent podcast with Real Estate Disruptors with Steve Trank, and actually blew up. Like, it was amazing. The amount of feedback that we got. We gave a lot of things away. So become the world's best boss. All right. Oops. Is there a way I can... Do you know if the batteries died? Or... Let me turn it off and on. All right. Whoa. Hold on. Is there a way I can do it manually? All right, hold on. Whoa, we skipped a lot of things. All right. So again, Rockstar Lead Gen, think about it like an actual funnel. Like you're actually running ads, okay? So again, applications fill in, screen testing, hired on board. You have to actually get a lot of applications in to get a small percentage of actual people to actually go through. Whenever we present people to you guys, we only present 3 to 4 people. Think about it. We get thousands of applications per month, and we actually see hundreds of people before actually going to you, and we only give you guys 3 to 4 people. Why? Because if you have a lot more, you're going to fall into indecision. There's going to probably a lack of quality, but you got to focus on the actual quality of the actual match. And someone just is getting onboarded on Monday, so props to that. I forgot. I don't know exactly where you are, but someone is getting onboarded for Remote Latino, so congrats on that. All right. Let me get it here. So who wants to know the top 5 forces where we hired the remote talent from? I'm going to tell it to you guys right now, because and this is in Latin America, okay? So, Facebook groups is something that we use, so we always have a sourcer looking and scraping Facebook groups for talent and for people that are posting, or like we're reaching out to these people. Torrid.ai or Torrid.co is a platform. It's actually a competitor of ours, but we use them and we're actually friends with their founders. But Torrid is a really good platform that you can actually use to find high quality talent. Again, it's kind of like they created like a mini Upwork for a lot of different countries, but there is a lot of Latinos in there. Indeed, it's one that we actually run ads and we do outreach to, and it actually works really, really well. So we find actually a lot of salespeople and very operational roles in Indeed, and it's actually something that people use. Remote Latinos, we actually have a new marketplace that we're launching this month. It's called go.remotelatinos.com, where you're going to be able to find your own remote Latinos on your own time. And LinkedIn job ads, and also LinkedIn outreach. Again, people in Latin America have LinkedIn too. So if you go to, let's say, those companies that Realtor.com outsource to, for example, and you see all their employees, you're going to be able to see it in LinkedIn. So you're going to come as an American and be like, hey, I see that you have a lot of experience. I see that you do exactly what I want, or like something similar. I'm going to send you this opportunity. Do you want this opportunity? And you create a hot list of people that actually are willing to hear you, because you're going to pay them. You're going to be able to pay them 50% more, 100% more than what they get paid in Latin America. So, for example, I pay my people from $1,000 to $2,500 a month, and that includes bonuses and bonuses and commissions. That if we're talking about setters, we're talking about setters and closers. Well, they get paid a little bit more because obviously they do deals. So, for example, as a story, Nick Perry, he actually found someone using one of the platforms, send it to us, because you were going to hire someone in Medellin. And this guy he went from the hood to living in one of the best neighborhoods in Medellin.
Yeah,
so
I went down there, and I was going to open a sales office down there, like I told you guys earlier. The amount of talent that's in Latin America is crazy. Like this guy, he lived in New Jersey, most of his life, speaks perfect English, super hungry, driven, and I just didn't end up opening the office there. I said, hey, you guys should probably, give this guy a job. And
Yeah.
he's really crushing it now.
Right now, he's crushing it. He's making about 12% on every deal that he closes. But he actually he's making fucking money for Colombia. So $4,000 to $6,000 a month, that is really good money there. That is really, you're Colombian. You know that that's really good money when you live there and you're just an employee.
People live on $500 a month.
Exactly. So he went from the hood, living in the hood, to living in one of the best neighborhoods in Medellin. And that was because, I believe, damn it. Oh, because we use Facebook ads to find those people. Again, the power of advertising, right? Our company, Hustle Media, advertises to get motivated sellers. Our company, Remote Latinos, advertises to get candidates and really high quality people. So, how to get people through ads? There's an entire thing to do it. I'm not going to go through it, but I'm definitely going to give you guys the ads right here. You guys can take a screenshot of it, but at the same time, I'm going to give you guys a barcode with all my giveaways, and that is going to include the ads that we actually use. And this is exactly how we actually call people out in order to tell them that there's an opportunity to make USD yes, that's the top, yeah. Scan this to get the exact ads. Right here, you guys are going to have a link tree with a lot of the different goodies and giveaways, okay? All right, let me speed through this real quick. So, steps for screening and assessment. Criteria for your hiring. Again, you have to put a lot of intention on this. Just like you want to find the best clients, they're going to be the best type of deals, the best type of sellers, or even the best type of buyers. Put a lot of emphasis in actually doing this. Overqualified during the actual interviewing process. Especially if you work with a recruiting company that they already have given you the best options that are based on your culture and based on what you actually need. Make sure that the interview process is hard enough. Like, don't make it so easy so that anyone can just go through it, right? There's a skill test that you got to be able to put them on. Ask them curveball questions. And also, if you have leaders, involve leaders in the process because they'll be able to see things in a different perspective that is not the owner perspective, okay? Scan the framework on how to get interviews, and the screening framework and 50+ interview questions that we have. Again, it's going to be that barcode that we have. If you guys have any issues, you can find me later. So streamline your recruiting. Make sure that there is actual step-by-step, all right? And the second thing, what is the second thing? You can't actually expect that these people that you have remotely, call it, like, even if it is like from Philippines, even if it is from Egypt, if you don't pour into them, if you don't develop their people, if you don't develop your people, how can you expect that they actually develop your company? You have to develop your people, regardless whether they come from experience or not. So the best players in the world train their skills every single day. And the same mentality we got to have with people in Mexico, Colombia, Argentina. The same mentality. Doesn't matter if you got to put them together in your team, right? Ronaldo takes the same free kicks, and everyone else actually takes the shots over and over with repetition to get better. So amateurs practice until they get it right, but experts and the best people in the world, they practice until they can't get it wrong. So that's something you got to put together where there is daily trainings. You got to make sure that there is a cadence for example, appointment setters, lead managers, for their training. Like every morning, our appointment setters, they are training with our sales manager every single day. Every single day. The same thing for our client success team. The same thing for our recruiters. They have a meeting every single day, and there's like a high-level training where they actually share different things per week. Our sourcers, it doesn't matter what type of company you actually guys have, if we're related to real estate investing, we got lead managers, we got disposition specialists, we got dispo managers, we got acquisition, we got, I don't know if you guys will have TCs in-house, but All these people that are operating to generate you revenue or keep your revenue and ultimately have a higher lifetime value, they should be getting training. And if you have them in a position where they actually can decrease your CAC, they should be getting training every single day. So, how does it look like? I also put it here in the barcode, so you guys can check it out. It's downloadable, very easy. And end of the day reports. I actually spoke about this on what's the difference between having someone in office or remote, and how come you cannot just go to them and ask for feedback right away. You have to Slack them, or you have to ask them to go into a Google Meet or Zoom, or you have to like Slack huddle them in order to get feedback. But you can create systems out of this, and I talk about this in the Real Estate Disruptors podcast, and also we have a YouTube video that exactly talks about the systems that you got to create to actually build a remote team, because it's not the same. It's never going to be the same as an office. It's just never going to be the same. We still meet maybe every quarter or sometimes more often, and I go see my team in Colombia, and sometimes I go see my team in Mexico, and we haven't seen our team in Philippines, but we go see them to just pour into them personally in a human level. But the systems that you got to create are going to be depending on the end of the day reports that you actually ask them to do, and end of the week reports, and then there's also end of the month reports. So there is an example of how we do this. It's just a simple jot form that we send them on Slack, and there is a end of the day report that is being filled out with their KPIs, what they learned today, what they're going to do tomorrow. We set them up, we set their frame for the next day. We actually figure out whether they have a challenge that day. So again, people communicate differently, and even though you cannot tell them something in person or just touch their shoulder, but they'll be able to actually write it down, and it's part of their agreement that they need to do this type of reports. All right, so give them a short-term roadmap whenever you're actually onboarding them. Again, we're giving that away. And be patient with your hiring, because they're doing the following. They're showing up. They're showing up in time, asking a lot of questions, and they want to be part of your company, right? They're being resourceful, thinking outside the box, showing your potential. All of these traits are A-player traits. Going above and beyond, helping you figure things out, getting 1% better daily, right? All of these traits are something you got to find on an A-player. You can find them remotely. And the scale and retain. A rising tide raises all ships. So one of the biggest things about retaining is that you pour so much into your team that you want to keep them forever. Like, a lot of people think that sending your team member to a mastermind by themselves or a seminar and flying them in, it's going to be risky for you because you're going to lose them because someone's going to poach them. But what if they actually didn't go and they stay and they didn't level up? What if they actually didn't do that mastermind, that extra masterclass, that extra seminar, that extra pouring into them, and they actually stayed? The risk is that they actually stay and they don't level up, right? So make sure that you empower to lead, that you build an impeccable culture every single time. This is one of the biggest things that I learned. And actually, my culture is run by my operations executive team. And that's because I'm a difficult person sometimes to talk, but I get too passionate, and I'm still working on myself on this. But my executive team, operational team, is the one that drives the culture, the one that we put together. And Omir, for example, drives a lot of the culture inside of the Remote Latinos company. You got to be able to praise and reward them consistently, right? This is one thing that we do. I actually put in my calendar praise and reward every single day, because sometimes we forget that people need to get recognized every single day in order to actually feel like they're doing something and they're meant for something.
People will work harder for recognition than they work on money.
100%.
5 years ago, that's what
Yeah. And actually, I do a lot of testing before I hire them or after I hire them, where I know their 5 love languages, I know their personality, I know how they actually feel loved or fulfillment. Because some people will love gifts, some people will love the recognition in front of everyone. Some people will definitely love more money, right? Like salespeople are very money driven, but a lot of them, they're also very status driven. They're like, oh my God, this guy put me in my podcast, right? All right, and hiring the dream team. So raise your hands, those that are six-figure REI business owners. I want to get to know you guys. 6 figures a year. Nice. What about 7 figures? REI business owners? Okay. Wrong. Remember, you guys are a marketing and sales organization. All right? And then you're also, when you get to the point, you're a recruiting company, essentially. You want to be able to always be recruiting, always be hiring great people. That's why we also have, for some people, an unlimited offer, where people will be able to unlimitedly hire people just by paying 1 time or 2 times, and then hire every single year at an unlimited way. So marketing and sales organization, first marketer, second closer, third real estate, and then as you grow, you guys are more of a recruiting company. So one of the few things that I learned is that outbound and inbound marketing needs to be combined. So the first rule of business is to ultimately set appointments and close appointments when you actually need to start growing initially, right? So appointments showed into contract is what's going to do, make the sales happen. So what should you hire first, right? Remotely, if you haven't really hired, hire operators that ultimately help you set appointments or help you with your calendar, right? Because that's what you got to be able to do, like focus on someone else setting the appointments or helping you with your calendar, and you focus on closing deals, and you do that. So, but for example, we also do a lot of inbound channels. You guys do a lot of inbound channels. So that will help you with the lead generation and self-booking, where someone of the operating team will be able to take care of those appointments, go through them, sift, do triage calls, making sure that they're the right quality, market quality lead, and then you just focus on being a closer. Okay. So the journey with someone without remote Latinos is that they launch their campaign. So for example, they come into Hustle Media, and then a few months later, they have contracts and deals, but they're back to the hamster wheel because there's no time for nothing. There's a lot of opportunities lost. And you're like, what is happening, right? So the journey with someone with virtual assistants, with remote team members, is you launch your campaigns, and then you scale all the way to ad spend by hiring. Well, that's a good quote of him. That's one of the best quotes he's had. You know. Anyways, so in order to get your sanity back, you have to actually hire a remoter. In our company, we help our clients hire remoters or hire remote Latinos to help them get their time back, and then ultimately help them scale, because you got to focus on closing deals, right? And then you feel like a champion. So your next hiring could be doubling down on your front end and hiring another lead manager, the type of role, or to follow up and manage leads. For example, Hustle Media helps you with that. And obviously, remote Latinos give you individual roles. So if things are working well, how to get more from this strategy? Well, I put together all the giveaways because I want to teach you guys exactly what it takes and actually to get your time back with remote Latinos, or a lead generator or an executive assistant, right? Someone that is going to book you appointments or help you with your calendar, because sometimes you don't have enough time for anything. You may need an executive assistant. By the way, I highly recommend, even though I got into like some beef with Dan Martell recently, the Buy Back Your Time book. It's a very, very good book. I'm into his coaching. Long story short, I'm not into his coaching anymore. All right? All right. I'm about to finish here. So you got lead gen, you book appointments. But let's say, for example, you do lead management. Nick Perry hires a lot of appointment setters, lead managers, follow-up specialists from us. All right? And again, they're gonna be so different than anything that you think of, because what you hire is you hire for quality. We go for quality. We don't go for any Filipino that just, applies with us and then ultimately knows how to speak English, but they don't really have the skills. Latinos come with a different background, different culture. They're more aggressive. They actually push for the objection, or like they actually push to get the appointment done, or they just ultimately will not be as, let's say, soft-spoken than a Filipino. And that's why it's an amazing opportunity for you guys to do the sales roles in Latin America. So you got to do that whenever you're at 80% capacity. Make sure that you are thinking about hiring. And there's an opportunity to hire remote closers.
We got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. 100%. There's an opportunity to hire remote closers. Now, this one is tricky because there's people that they're self-driven, hungry, caring, and a culture fit. Like our guy, Johan, that Nick Perry sent to us, he's a savage. And he's a closer. He lives in Medellin. Again, his background is that he lived in the United States for a long time, and for some sad reason, he had to go back to Colombia. But these people are there as well. Now, they're harder to find, but when you hire them, they're going to stick with you for a long time. They're not going to take your business. And again, like what's the benefit here? Long-term longevity with your team members, higher profit margins, right? And you just have a resilient culture. That's what you want to create with remote closers. So be better leader, be better sales manager. Don't stop daily trainings. This is a book that I actually recommend. Who? So solve your number one problem. This is a really good book that helps you identify exactly who you need. And whenever you guys are ready to scale, hire recruiters or talent connectors. These people are expert recruiters that will help you always stay hiring. So we also help with that role. Like whenever you guys want to just do a lot of recruiting, we help with that role. But again, we have an unlimited package. Build a company based on systems, scale a company based on people. That's what he says. So your to-do list is this. If you guys have trouble hiring remote, your to-do list for this week, for tomorrow, is to do your core values, your mission and vision, share the strategic pathway, paint an ascension plan for each one of your team members, create objectives with each one of them, and create rocks. I highly recommend the book Traction. There's I think it's chapter 3 that talks about this. And then the last thing is just take action, guys. So you
guys have this affiliation with Steve Train, right?
Yeah, we do.
So is that how you train your people?
So we do give them their training, but the thing is that Steve Train changed their model. So right now we paused doing that. He changed his model. Before it was like monthly low ticket, but we do have training from different other, let's say, sales mindset, sales models, sales frameworks that we actually give them, right? We give them a course. They go into like Remote Latinos Academy. But the most important thing here is that people come in experienced. They already are experienced in sales, which is a transferable skill. So the only thing that they got to know is the real estate language, right? The REI language. So a lot of people hire, and these people are in roofing, for example. They've already spoken with homeowners, but it's just like a roofing offer, right? Like they're doing roofs as opposed to like buying homes. So it's also very important to take a look at talent that is not necessarily 100% real estate, because you want the skills, you want the experience, you want the culture fit. I mean, they might lack the knowledge, but that's, if they are the right A player, that's easy to actually teach, right? Like you can teach the language and so on. Right? Like real estate is honestly not hard to understand. What's harder is actually getting close deals, right? Triaging the right appointments, qualifying the leads, and so on. So that's my present. Go for it.
What percentage of the people that you place last 90 days or more with the person you placed them?
We have attrition of 25%. So our clients ask for a replacement of their new team members 25% of the time.
So 75% of the time they stay.
So no, this is our clients asking for a replacement, right?
75% of the time they stay.
Yes.
That's very good.
Yeah.
The people we've hired, we haven't, right? And the process for like them handling all the recruitment, I'm not doing. So it's,
Dude, yeah, just pay them their fee.
they're serving the best people. We spend 0 time searching for them, and so far we've kept all of them. Actually, there's only been one consideration we've ever had for a remote person to be a closer, and it's from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
My question is that, do you do any cognitive tests?
Yes, we do. We use a free software and also paid software. One is called Gorilla Test that helps you with cognitive questions, and the other one is PI Index. That's that one we use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you brought someone, would they have a PI and a cog? Or can I run it through my PI?
You can always do it through yours. Like we always encourage our clients to actually have their own skill tests and their own testing even before you speak to them, right? Yes. But we do actually do personality tests. We do English tests. We do an AI interview as well. Like we screen them, and then before we send it to you to your list, we do a gut check. We want to know based on what you want that that this is the right person for you.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I mean, we have a funnel anyways coming in, so why not add people from your funnel? And if they go through the process,
Yeah.
and they're good, and they're remote, and what's the cost per person, like a closer, what would the cost on that?
Well, we range depends on the pricing, but depends on how many people you're going to hire with us at the same time. So we range from $2,000 to $5,000. But for example, right now we're changing our pricing model for next month. We're going to be doing a percentage of the salary, right? So it's better for it's just better for us, right, as a whole as we grow in the company. But right now you can find a person for if you're in the cartel, if you are also in the syndicate, $2,500.
So
And it's guaranteed.
Yes.
Is it something we pay you and you pay them, or we pay them and you get a percentage of it?
No, you guys pay us,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we'll give you the full ownership.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So they're like smart marks. It's not, we're not paying them, we're not working with them, we're working every day. That's all
So
we
it's a
do.
one-time fee.
It's a one-time fee. Yeah. For now, we're gonna change this to percentage based. We're also placing now remote Latinos as smart talent, which is our technology and software. If you guys want to build software, there's also engineers. Anyways, I'm not sure how many.
If something doesn't work out with that, you recycle them?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you will have a guarantee, and I believe it's 60 days that we will replace it for free, right? I think 60 days.
How many times? Like,
Until you find the person. But like the goal is to not keep doing that because you'll be wasting your time, right? Yeah.
You mentioned earlier when we were talking like Egyptians and South Africans with remote Latinos. You don't have anybody outside of South America, correct?
We do. Actually,
You do have some of those other guys.
we started with Filipinos, and then when I proposed this to my partner, hey, let's do Latinos. Let's do these job boards. Let's just target them. Well, it became now 70-30 of the people. Now we have 70% Latinos, and the 30% is like Egyptians and Filipinos. We also have South Africans, which South Africa is a really good place to actually hire from.
Yo, we're gonna wrap it up right now. We're 45 minutes late for lunch on our reservation, but grab a spot with Esteban. He's a wealth of knowledge. He gave a ton of value on his presentation.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. Thanks, brother.
Great work.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, man.